glass in the comments, okay? So now the James Bond franchise has been alive as long as I have. You've had one, two, three, four, five, six different actors play James Bond over a span of, I don't know, 60 years. And it makes a lot of money. But even a brand as big as James Bond sometimes has to defend their name. Okay. So there is an issue going on right now where the people who own the trademarks that belong, that going along with James Bond, specifically James Bond 007, and the iconic Bond, James Bond, right? There is an Austrian businessman who is trying to take the trademarks. His name is Josef Kleindienst. And he is a developer who he builds resorts, right? And he wants to name his resorts after James Bond. So he is saying that the people who own the trademarks for James Bond have not been using the James Bond trademark, and that it should be rescinded and should no longer have it. So the first thing you need to know is that when you have a trademark, you need to be using it. If you have a trademark and you sit on it, someone can make a claim to take your trademark away from you, right? And even when you have a trademark, you have to file a declaration of use 5 years into it, and then you have to renew it every 10 years. So trademarks are not just set it and forget it, and you cannot just have a trademark and not use it, because if somebody wants it, hi Audra Humphreys, they can come through because you're not using it and sweep it up, right? So Josef Kleindienst is saying that hey Lolo Vanzi is saying that the people who own the James Bond trademarks, y'all ain't using the mark, so I want them. Your trade should be canceled, right? But they were like, hold up. Just because you don't think we're using it doesn't mean that we're not. They came back with proof showing ongoing commercial use, meaning they have partnerships with different brands that are allowed to use the James Bond name or the 007, right? So they have partnerships with shirt makers, hat makers, luxury sports line, ski gear, knitwear brand, right? So there is more than enough evidence to show that the people who own the James Bond trademarks have been using them. They may not be using them in the way that you see fit, but they're definitely using them, right? So and this is why having your trademarks in order is so important, because the legal team over for the owners of the James Bond trademarks, they're like, look, this is all our contracts, this is all our agreements, these are all the partnerships that we have. We own this name. We are using it to make money. Run yourself back to Austria, Josef. Okay? So if somebody ever claims, let's say you have a trademark and for some reason somebody wants to come after you and tries to claim that you are not using your trademark, this is why you keep records of the partnerships that you have. Even if you're not using it actively yourself, you might be licensing it out to other businesses, and that is a valid use of your mark. All right, you have the right as the trademark owner to rent out the name so other people can use it. So I don't think that this Austrian businessman is going to be very successful, because they have they're showing that yes, we're making money from this name, right? But so instead of asking you guys if you think they're going to win, I want to know from you guys, what's your favorite James Bond movie? Hi, Ruben Strozier. What is your favorite James Bond movie? Who's your favorite James Bond? Do you like Daniel Craig? Did you like who's them other ones? Pierce Brosnan, all them other ones. Who is your favorite James Bond? Let me know in the comments while we switch to our next story. Okay? All right. Hey y'all. Hi Juge BPO3. Okay. How many of y'all have invested in cryptocurrency? If you have invested in cryptocurrency, whether it be Bitcoin, Ethereum, any type of cryptocurrency, give me some hearts over here on TikTok and give me a money emoji over here on the YouTubes, the Facebook, the Instagrams. You're all streaming from StreamYard. So wherever you put your money, it's going to come up in my comments. Okay. If you have ever invested in cryptocurrency, please, give me some type of indication. TikTok, give me some hearts, right? So, what I want to know is how did you invest? What got you to invest? Was it a friend? Was it a commercial? Was it a celebrity endorsement? Because you might be wondering what cryptocurrency has to do with the Kardashians. Well, there is a lawsuit that is proceeding against the Kardashians, as well as what's that man's name? Floyd Mayweather, because they promoted investing in a specific type of cryptocurrency, right? And because they promoted this cryptocurrency, it went up really fast, but it was like a pump and dump scheme. So people invested a lot of money, but then it crashed really quick and people lost money, right? So a judge has ruled that class action lawsuits against promoters of this cryptocurrency, like the Kardashians, Kim Kardashian, like Floyd Mayweather and Paul Pierce, that they can go forward. So while these victims of this pump and dump scheme, they can't sue these people in federal court, they can go in their specific states and sue for relief. Because as a celebrity, as a person with influencer, think about that. Think about all of you out here who want to be influencers on the socials, right? You need to be careful about what you're promoting, because if you have a large following that is just so invested in you that whatever you promote, they will buy. If you are seen as promoting sham or fraudulent goods, you can be held liable by the courts because people follow what you say. So as you grow in these influencer streets, you want to be very careful about what you promote, because the bigger you are, the more people listen to you and the more they can be stressed. As an influencer, a content creator, a celebrity, whoever is out here trying to influence other people, you need to be careful what you're promoting, because you can be held legally liable if the damage is bad enough. Okay? All right. So that was just a quick PSA for you guys who are always, promoting whatever product and maybe not even testing it and don't know how it's going to affect people. You've got to think about, can I really stand by this can I stand high smoke? Can I stand behind this product? Can I really say that I know this to be a good move to get with this product, right? All right, so the next story that we are talking about. How many of y'all saw Crazy Rich Asians? If you saw Crazy Rich Asians, I don't want to do anything racist. If you saw Crazy Rich Asians, just give me a yes in the comments, or give me some hearts. Tap on the screen, y'all. Give your girl a tap. Give your tap. Um, so if you saw Crazy Rich Asians, give me some taps or give me a yes in the comments, right? We know it was a rom-com about some filthy rich Asian people. Did y'all see that reality show called Bling Empire? And it was all these like crazy rich Asian people from everywhere. I loved that show. And then one of my favorite characters, she actually passed away a couple of years ago, Anna. But anyway, if you saw Crazy Rich Asians, give me, give me some taps, give me a yes, something, right? Well, recently, someone tried to trademark the phrase crazy broke Asians for entertainment related goods and services, including film, TV, books, magazines, and recordings, right? So they were like, look, y'all got crazy Asians, I'm gonna be over here with the crazy broke Asian. And this actually happened in Canada. And the Canadian Trademark Board, because every country has their own separate trademark board because some of the laws are different. The Canadian Trademark Board said no, because there is a reasonable likelihood of confusion among consumers, right? Now, Warner Brothers owns the Crazy Rich Asians trademark, which is based on a novel and film. And of course, they didn't like the idea of crazy broke Asian coming on here when they don't have a hand in it. So the Canadian Trademark Board said that the marks, they share strong resemblance because they both start with crazy, they both end with Asian, they have the same grammatical structure. And also, Warner Brothers has been using Crazy Rich Asian since 2018 for film distribution, because you can stream Crazy Rich Asians, you can buy a Blu-ray, you can buy a DVD, right? So it has its own market and brand recognition. And because Crazy Broke Asians was going to be in the same space, because they wanted to trademark it for film, TV, books, magazines, things like that, there was going to be confusion in the marketplace. So the Canadian Trademark Board said, no, Crazy Broke Asian, you're going to have to pick something else. All right. So when you guys are, figuring out what your trademark is going to be, how you're going to brand yourself, please do not build your brand on somebody else's back. You want your brand to be as distinct as possible so that there is no way that anybody can confuse you with somebody else. Okay. All right. If you are just coming in, I am Natalie Pierre-Lewis, and you are watching Who's Getting Sued. This week, this is where we learn business and legal concepts using pop culture and celebrity news. If you are in the startup phase of your business, or if you are trying to level up in your business and you just need to get that paperwork done, my art is paperwork, baby. Get with your girl, because I'm going to make sure that your business is registered. I'm going to make sure that you have your contracts for your clients. I'm going to make sure that you have your excuse me. Hey Whitney, I'm going to make sure that you have everything you need to grow and scale with confidence as a business owner. All right? So our next story tonight, my sports fans. If you like sports ball, give me some type of sports emoji and tap the hearts for me. If you are a sports fan, give me some hearts over here on TikTok, and give me some hi love, and give me some sports emojis over here on the StreamYard. Okay. So as you know, Fox Sports, they like, if you watch football or basketball, you've probably watched it on a Fox Sports production, right? Distribution. Fox Sports is a big entity. It is a well-known name, and they license that name out to different companies that want to be affiliated with Fox Sports, including Mexico. So in Mexico, there is a company called Media Deportes Mexico. Okay, they are Fox Sports's Mexican broadcasting partner. What that means is this Mexican broadcasting company, thank you for sharing, Whitney. This Mexican broadcasting company, they have a contract with Fox Corporation. They pay them to use the Fox Sports name when they are broadcasting games, right? So they have had this agreement with Fox since 2021. But then this agreement was terminated in March of 2025 because the Mexican broadcast company failed to pay licensing fees, meaning the Mexican broadcasting company didn't pay their light bill to Fox Sports. So Fox Sports was like, well, you can't use our name anymore, right? So, but they were still using the Fox Sports logo, which is something that you have to pay for. So Fox Sports, the Fox Corporation, they are now trying to get some money. They are looking for monetary damages and a court injunction, meaning they want the court to tell the Mexican broadcasting company to stop using their trademarks. Also aims to block enforcement of the contested trigger the government. And then they're also saying that the Mexican broadcasting company set them up because they had the government raid Fox's offices in Mexico. It's crazy. Anyway, they're saying that this is coming because Fox has been expanding in Mexico very aggressively. And I guess, Mexico is like, whoa there. No. You don't want us in America. We don't want you in Mexico. I'm just kidding. I don't know. But anyway, Fox Sports is suing their Mexican broadcasting partner because they hadn't been paying their licensing fees. If you obtain a license from a company especially my crafters out here, if you get a contract with a university or some type of organization to make official merch for them, right? That's a licensing agreement. And you have to abide by those rules. And if for some reason that agreement comes to an end, you're no longer allowed to make that merch, okay? Or use that logo. So it's important that if you want to keep using other people's names, if you want to be an official, brand rep, you got to pay those licensing fees, okay? All right. Whew. I am parched. How y'all doing tonight? Feel like I'm doing a concert. No. All right, let's see. Next story that we're talking about. How many of y'all are vodka lovers? If you like vodka, give me some type of liqueur emoji. If you like vodka, give me a Shady Grady. If you like vodka, give me some type of liquor emoji. Tap something. Let me know that you like to drink, okay? Specifically, if you like vodka. Do we got any vodka drinkers here? Anyway, so there is a vodka a distillery based here in Maryland, where I am apparently. Apparently there's a lot of distilleries here. They're called Trippy Goat LLC, okay? And they are known for their goat themed vodka. And they have filed a lawsuit against a sneaker resale platform for trademark bullying. Okay, now let me give you guys a little background. A little background. So when you have a trademark, right? You trademark it in your industry. nobody can have in your industry, but it doesn't give you control over that mark or word in perpetuity. So that's why we can have things like Dove soap and Dove chocolate exist, because soap and chocolate are two different products that you're not going to find on the same shelf. They're not in the same industry, so they can coexist, right? Um, another so it's this it's I don't know if you guys remember, before Kim Kardashian named her shapewear line Skims, she wanted to name it Kimono, and people were like, what is she gonna keep me from using the word kimono? And what people didn't understand was she was just trying to use it for the shapewear line. She wasn't trying to say that she had a monopoly on kimonos, but then she didn't end up using it because the government of Japan was like, girl, please don't do this, all this stuff. Hey, Tootie. Hi, Shane Twitty. Hi, Coach Deja. Yes. So all of these. So different industries. If you're totally different, you can have the same name, right? But sometimes some companies, they get big in their britches and they try and bully smaller companies and send them cease and desist and say, well, Monster Energy Drink is notorious for this. If you even think about using the word M in your logo, they're ready to sue you, right? But okay. So Trippy Goat, they're out here making their vodka, drink. And then this sneaker platform, my sneakerheads, please give me some type of sneaker emoji. They sent cease and desist letters to the vodka company. So the company that resells sneakers went to the vodka company and said, stop using the word goat in your marketing because there could be confusion between our two companies. So I want to ask you guys, as reasonable people who are in the world, is there a possibility that you are going to confuse liquor with sneakers if you haven't already been drinking? Is there a possibility that you would confuse liquor with sneakers, right? So not only did the sneaker resale platform ask them to stop using the word goat, they went to the USPTO and tried to block the vodka company's trademark application for alcoholic beverages. Okay. So we in terms of regular parlance, we know goat, we use it as greatest of all time, right? But this vodka company is actually using like an actual goat. They put an actual goat on their labels. So, as reasonable people, or at least for me as a reasonable person, I don't see how there would be any confusion between Goat, the sneaker reseller, and Trippy Goat, the vodka company. I'm already dead drunk. Ain't no way I'm gonna mistake some shoes for some vodka. But Trippy Goat, they're like, we're not taking this line down. So they're actually countersuing with countersuing Goat, the sneaker resale platform, because they're saying that they're being trademark bullies. I don't know what I know y'all pay a lot for sneakers. I do not. I'm not a sneakerhead. I like to get my sneakers from Ross. But this sneaker company, I'm assuming that it has pretty deep pockets if it can go this far to, try and oppose the application. But because these are two different Conjure, hey girl, because these are two different industries, liquor and sneakers, there is most likely not going to be any confusion between these two products. Okay, so when you and so to bring this back to us, when you're choosing your trademark, your logo, the name, if it is already trademarked in another industry, meaning something completely different from what you do, like Dove soap and Dove chocolate, don't worry. The way you have to worry about is if you are too close to a name that is within your industry. Okay. So good luck to Trippy Goat with that. Okay. Okay. Let me take this down. Uh, yes. Thanks, Boo. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right. Anybody here into British rap? You might not ho. You might not ho. You might not ho. Thank you. Oh, you're so sweet. Thank you. How do I pin this? Can I pin you? Pin. Conjure uno blood clot. And if you comment on any of these stories, if you want to comment on any of these stories, please just send me a request and I'll bring you one up here. Okay. All right. So moving on. If you are okay, if you are okay, guys, being responsible for a lot of things can be crazy. All right. There is a rapper by the name of MF Doom. He is deceased. And and just like y'all remember when Pop Smoke came out and then he died all of a sudden, but Pop Smoke has had a posthumous rise to fame. You couldn't go nowhere without hearing Pop Smoke, right? So just like Pop Smoke, MF Doom, he passes away. Of course, people are going to make merch, including his company. The company that he founded before his untimely death was called Gas Draws LLC. That's one of the things that I love about setting up your business is you can literally call it whatever you want. So he started this company called Gas Draws LLC, and they handle all of his merch and everything like that, right? So Gas Draws LLC is currently suing Temu because they are selling counterfeit MF Doom merchandise, including t-shirts, posters, and hats. Now, keep in mind, MF, he's making music, right? Let's say he has a family. So they're going to be his family, his heritage. They're the ones who are going to be making, money off of the merchandise and things as long as it's done right. But if you have Temu over here selling fake merch, that could impede on their money. Guys, please give me one moment. Okay, I'm back, y'all. Had to take care of some stuff. Sorry about that. All right. So, yes. So Gas Draws LLC, they are suing Temu. And as business owners here, as you guys are on here, I see a lot of you have businesses that you are promoting on TikTok, on social media. You guys need to be careful. You need to be aware of who is using your stuff. Hey, Soft Luck Society, right? If you see somebody is using your trademarks, your images, your intellectual property without your permission, it is your duty. It is your responsibility to call it out, because if you don't, it can become generic and you may not be able to use it. I don't know if you guys remember way back in the day with who is it? Sheree. Sheree, when on Housewives of Atlanta, and she had that phrase, "Who gonna check me, boo?" Right? And everybody was making a "Who gonna check me, boo" shirt and all this stuff, to the point that when Sheree wanted to finally make merch, which with "Who gonna check me, boo," she couldn't do it. It was generic. She had to partner with Hanes, another t-shirt company, to make her own t-shirt because she did not secure that intellectual property off top. Okay, so it's very important that you do that. Okay. Yes. All right, and we have two more stories before we log off for the night. All right, two more stories before we log off for the night. So, if you guys know Mr. Beast out there, I don't know what this man does. I see him pop up all over the place, but I don't know exactly what it is he does. I just know he makes a lot of money. But with more money comes more problems, and in this season of growing, Mr. Beast, I guess he wants to put out some sports merch, and in doing that, he has crossed hairs with Russell Brand, which does a lot of the sports equipment that you guys know of. So like the Spalding basketballs and things like that, right? That's all Russell Brand's. And Mr. Beast, because he wants to market his Beast sports things, they're coming after him. So he has products on Shopify and on Amazon, his basketballs, baseballs, whatever it is, that have his name, Mr. Beast, on there. But Russell Brands, which owns Spalding, they also put Beast on their sports paraphernalia, and they are suing him for trademark infringement because they're like, no, we're the ones who use Beast on our stuff. You don't get to use it. That's why you have to zealously defend your brand. Okay. All right. Final story that we are talking about this evening. I'm gonna need y'all's help with this. Do y'all know where this grocery store chain exists? Called Meijer, Meijer. Do you guys know where? I don't have it where I am up here. But either way, they are a supermarket chain in the U.S. And they are being sued by a Canadian apparel brand called Roots. Roots says that the supermarket chain, even though they're a supermarket, they're starting a children's clothing line that they want to call Roots and Threads. So of course the Canadian brand, because they probably sell their stuff here, they're like, well, there's already a Roots clothing brand, so no Roots and Threads. So they are challenging Meijer's trademark application. And the USPTO even refused it at first because of the possibility of confusion. So the USPTO, they can say, hey, there's something already out here that is similar to that, and we don't think that you should be able to trademark it. And it's up to you to change their mind about that, right? But not only did the USPTO say that, but this corporation called Roots is like, no, we don't want this to happen. So they are currently going after this supermarket chain. Why would a supermarket chain want to start a clothing line? But yeah, I'm interested to see how that's going to work. So those were the stories that I wanted to share with you guys today. I hope that you enjoyed my little spiel. I will be breaking these stories up for the to put on YouTube so you guys can watch the individual stories. So watch out for that. Make sure you're booking your free 15-minute consultations. The link is in my bio. Also, make sure that you download the free Biz Launch cheat sheet. Check my stories for that. So have a good night and take care of yourselves, people. Okay. Bye. Oh, shoot. Sorry, y'all.